أنما هو إله واحد وليذكر أولو الألباب.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله يا ايها الذين امنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن الا وانتم مسلمون يا ايها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحده وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء اتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والارحام ان الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا ايها الذين امنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم اعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما اما بعد فان اصدق الحديث كتاب الله واحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الامور محدثاتها وكل محدثه بدعه وكل بدعه ضلاله وكل ضلاله في النار. Inshallah, we'll continue with the Nahr, inshallah. I decided, inshallah, to change the nature of the class instead of taking classes. To make it short, and maybe the interest will come back again, inshallah. Realize that the class of Nahu in the normal days is reducing. So I will try, inshallah, maximum to go for Nahu and teach for 1 hour. Do not go beyond that. I think that's more than enough, inshallah. 1 hour, and then we have question and answers, and then we close the class. Bring the interest. When people come back again, then we can go as much as we wish by then. What was the topic last week? What was the topic last week? Nahu. By the way, Nahu needs memorization. Even if you don't memorize the fortune, but at least you will memorize the formulas. You know what was done. Not necessarily that you must memorize it. So what was the topic? علامات الرفع. علامات الرفع. كم علامات الرفع؟ 4. What are they? الضمة وهي الأصلية. Good. And then والتاء. والتاء is not included. Okay, what was that? What was the replacement? الواو. And then الألف. والنون. Okay, good. Right. And then I guess we discussed the نيابة الواو and the dhamma. The places where waw replaces the dhamma, right? And we mentioned that it replaces dhamma in 6 places. True. How many places? 2. The first one? جمع المذكر السالم. How would you define جمع المذكر السالم? It says ما جمع بألف ما جمع بواو ونون أو بياء ونون مزيدتين. ما جمع بواو ونون أو بياء ونون مزيدتين. What does that mean? What does that mean? ما جمع بواو ونون أو بياء ونون مزيدتين. What does that mean? Al-Mufrad, that you have waw and noon and the last part of it, right? Connected to waw and noon, and the building of the Mufrad does not change, right? When it changes, we call it what? Salim or Taksir? Taksir. Like example, Muslim. How do you make jam of Muslim? Muslimun. You see, the Mufrad is Muslim. When you have the jam Muslimun, you still maintain the nature of the Mufrad. You just added waw and noon. Muslimun, Muslimin, Mu'minun, Mu'minin. How about jam al-Mu'annath as-Salim? Muslimatun, Muslimatun. What did you do? Did you change the nature of the Mufrad? No, it doesn't change. But you just added alif and ta, right? Ma jumi'a bi alifin wa ta mazidatain. La. Ma jumi'a bi alifin wa ta'in mazidatain. How about jam taksir? ما دل على ثلاثة فأكثر مع إيش؟ تغيير بناء مفرده. So it shows 3 and above, but the mufrad changes, like baytun, abiyatun, qalamun, aqlamun. Get it? So that's jam'u taksir. The first place where Dhamma represent where waw will represent Dhamma is Jam'u al-Mudhakkar as-Salim. So we all know what is Jam'u al-Mudhakkar as-Salim, right? قال الأول في جمع المذكر السالم وهو ما دل على 3 فأكثر مع سلامة بناء مفرده. وإن شئت فقل ما جمع بواو ونون أو ياء ونون أو ياء ونون مزيدتين. وإن شئت فقل ما سلم فيه بناء مفرده. These are all ways of defining the Jam' al-Mudhakkar as-Salim. The point is to know what is Jam' al-Mudhakkar as-Salim, and alhamdulillah, I guess everyone knows it. The second place, we said 2 places, right? The second place is fil asma' al-khamsa. Al-asma' al-khamsa. You see, we have al-af'al al-khamsa, right? The 5 fi'l, right? We have them, right? You remember them, right? So those 5 fi'l, yaf'aluna, yaf'alina, until then. And you have also af'al al-asma' al-khamsa, 5 names. The Nuhat, they have these names, they call them 5 names. Nothing can be added according to this madhab. There is another madhab taken by the people of Basra. You see, Nahaw, usually the battle between the Nuhat, like the Fuqaha, they have Shafi'iyya, Hanbaliyya, Malikiyya, everyone has his own opinion. When it comes to Nahaw, you have Basriyun and Kufiyun. The battle is always between them. The people of Basra, they have this opinion, and the people of Kufa, they have another opinion. So the people of Kufa, they believe that these 5 names, they are only 5. Nothing can be added to them. You get it? So the Mu'allif al-Kitab, the Sahib Kitab al-Ajurumiyya, he is from Basra. So if he is from Basra, that's when he believes that they are only, he is from Kufa. So if he is from Kufa, that's when he believes obviously that these names are 5 only. There are only 5. And we have Ibn Malik. Ibn Malik, Sahib al-Alfiyah, one of the best poetry written on Nahu. He believes there are 6 because he's from other madhab. So this one says 6 and this one says 5. Number 6 that they added is the word hand. Roman, you're going to write a lot today. Is the hand. Ha and nu. So we will not talk about this inshallah until the time we finish with this book, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wish that you guys will stay without running away. Yeah, kida. If you don't run away and we finish the book, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we'll move to the more advanced book. Then we will study the additional. But now we will just restrict ourselves with those mentioned by the mu'allif, the author. He says 5, right? These are the al-asma al-khamsa. Is that clear? 5 names. So please do remember them. And go back also and revise. Next week I will ask you about the af'al al-khamsa, the 6 names. We talk about them and you wrote them all. So next time I'll ask you about them. So now we have the second part, which is af'al al-khamsa, al-asma al-khamsa, 5 names. What are they? Number 1 is abuka. Number 2 is akhuka. Abuka. Number 2, akhuka. Come on, tap. Abuka. Number 2, akhuka. Number 3, hamuka. Number 4, fuka. Fuka. Number 5, dhumali. Number 5, dhumali. Number 5, dhumali. So you have how many names? 5 names. You have abuka, you have akhuka, you have hamuka, you have fuka, you have dhuma. Whenever they happen to be with dhamma, dhamma cannot be placed on top of them. We have to bring a replacement. And the replacement is the wow. Akhu, hamu, fu, dhu, and abu. We cannot put something else other than wow to replace the dhamma. Is that clear? Okay. We will see how it functions inshallah. قال ترفع بالواو قال الله تعالى ولما فصلت العير قال أبوهم. So that's the example he gives. ولما فصلت العير قال أبوهم. He's talking about Yusuf عليه السلام. He says قال أبوهم. قال فعل ماضي. أبوهم. This is the fa'il. You see, fa'il is supposed to be marfu'. بالضمة. This is the ruling. Fa'il is always marfu'. You get it? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قال أبوهم. Abu. He did not say أباهم. قال أبوهم. Why أبوهم? Because it is fa'il. So while the fi Abu represent the dhamma, replacing the dhamma, because dhamma cannot appear on the af'al al-khamsa, al-asma al-khamsa. As long as they are on their conditions, dhamma cannot appear at all. So we have to go for the replacement, which is wow. You get it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قال أبو. قال إذن الأسماء الخمسة ترفع بالواو لكن لنعلم أنه لا بد فيها من شروط. That's the most important part of these 5 names. He says we replace the dhamma with waw. We have waw to replace the dhamma, but he says we have to know that there are certain conditions that we have to fulfill for this replacement to take place, otherwise it will never be there. Please watch over the names. Abu Ka, Akhu Ka, Hamu Ka, Fu Ka, Dhuman. The way you see they are constructed, this nature must be maintained. And this is how we are going to extract the conditions. There are around 6 conditions that must be memorized for this replacement to take place. If one of them is missing, you get it, in a place where it should be there, then the replacement will never take place. Then we have to go back to norm. What is the norm? Dhamma. So, but if the conditions are fulfilled, then we don't go back to the norm. We have to go back to the replacement. We must. It is not optional. Just this is how it is. So there are some conditions that must be fulfilled. أن تكون على اللفظ الذي قاله المؤلف. Wait, don't write yet. It has to be something that have the same nature of what is mentioned by the mu'allif. He says abuka, hamuka, akhuka, fuka, dhumani. This nature must be maintained. When you look at abuka, akhuka, hamuka, fuka, dhumani, how each and every one of them carries how many entities? 1 or 2? Only 1. No, 1. In terms of personality that it is addressing, abuka, how many abu? 1. Hamuka, how many? 1. What do you call it? Fuka, how many fu? 1. And there we go. Dhumanin, how many dhumanin? Only 1. So that's why he says, وَالْمُؤَلِّفُ قَالَهَا عَلَى أَنَّهَا مُفْرَدٌ. So he mentioned them على أنها مفرد, based on ifrad. Ifrad means they're only one entity. He says, فَخُذْ هَذَا شَرْطًا أَن تَكُونَ مُفْرَدًا. So the first shart, أَن تَكُونَ مُفْرَدًا. Write it down. The first shart, أَن تَكُونَ مُفْرَدًا. They must be مُفْرَدًا. مُفْرَدًا means single. I think if you help, it will be nice. أَن تَكُونَ مُفْرَدًا. It has to be مُفْرَدًا. مُفْرَدًا means 1, right, single. It doesn't choose 2. أَن تَكُونَ مُفْرَدًا. أن تكون مفردة. أن تكون مفردة. أن تكون مفردة. You get the shot. فإن جمعت. So this is the shot, right? It has to be مفردة. If you make it جمع. مثل آبا. Write the jam. Aba. فلا ترفع بالواو. We don't make the waw. We don't replace dhamma with waw. أبدا. فإن جمعت فلا ترفع بالواو. آباء جمع إيش؟ أب. آباء جمع أب. We don't bring waw to become the replacement. You get it? We bring something else. You get it? Aba'un, we bring something else. What shall we bring? Here. Aba'un, by the way, Aba'un, which type of Jama is there? Taksir. Jama Taksir. Do we all understand that it's Jama Taksir? Because the singular is Abun and the plural is Aba'un. So the nature of the mufrad changes, and that's why we call it Taksir. You get it? So Aba'un is the plural of Abun. So this Abun is supposed to be one of the 5 names. But the problem is we don't bring it here as mufrad. We bring it as jam. We say Aba'un. When we make it jam, that condition is gone, which says it has to be single. But now it is plural. So since it is plural, we just have to look at it according to its nature. So the nature here is Jam'u Taksir. And you remember, if you can remember, the first time you say Jam'u Taksir, yurfa bi'ish? Bid-dhamma? Bid-dhamma. So that's why dhamma has to go back. Not because replacement cannot be presented here, but because the qaida says Jam'u Taksir, yurfa bid-dhamma. Jam'u Taksir, we put dhamma on it when it comes to the Arab. Jam'u Taksir yurfa bid-dhamma. You get it? That's clear. So the first condition is أن تكون مفردة. it has to be, this name, it has to be mufrada. Mufrada means singular. If it is jama', that replacement will never take place. We have to go back to the original ruling, which is dhamma, if dhamma is appropriate. But in this case, aba'un, it has to go back to dhamma because it is jam'u taksir. And we mentioned that if wherever we have jam'u taksir that is supposed to be marfu'a, dhamma will take place. Jam'u taksir kulluha marfu'a bi dhamma. Do you get an idea? So that's the first condition. The second condition, أن تكون مكبرة. أن تكون مكبرة. أن تكون مكبرة. مكبرة. أن تكون مكبرة. Mukabbara means you have to, it has to be in the full form of pronunciation. Okay, I will let you know what it means properly. Let's say you have a person called Umar, right? How do you pronounce this name? Umar. If you say Umar, so you are mentioning the full pronunciation of the name. But sometimes I pity Umar. He's a young boy, or even is a big person, but you usually make jokes with him. So you decided to, produce a funny name, which means you are making the person little, very small. So when I don't call him Umar. I don't call him Umar, I call him Umayr. Umayr is like little Umar. That's why they call it Tasfiyah. You are making the name Sabir. Sabir means small. Kabir, you are keeping it in the way it is. Umar, Umayr, Abd. If I want to make him small, I call him Ubaid. You have people call Ubaid, right? Ubaid is the tasghir of Abd. Abd is the full form of the pronunciation. You say Abd, Umar. If you want to make it small, you say Umayr. Hamid, you say Humayd, and there we go. So this is takbir and tasghir. You get the idea? So the condition says أن تكون مكبرة. It has to be mukabbar. Mukabbara, akhun. It has to be akhun. When I make it ukhayyuka, it is not. Then in this case, although it is part of the small khamsa, but dhamma, waw will not replace the dhamma. So أن تكون مكبرة, it has to be in the full form of pronunciation, right? Do you get that? Inshallah. With the example, you get it properly. فإنها ترفع بالواو. If it is musaddara, we put waw to be the alama for i'rab here. We don't put if it is mukabbara, we put waw. If it is not mukabbara, musaddara, then waw cannot be the replacement. فلو قلت جاء أخيك, right here. جاء أخيك. Yeah, مثال. جاء أخيك. فلو قلت جاء أخيك right, ضمة on ياء, شدة. Please look at أخيك. If I want to make it the proper pronunciation, the full pronunciation, I say جاء أخوك. Write it properly. جاء أخوك. أخوك. You see, جاء أخوك. What is the alama of the i'rab here? Al-Rafa. Akhuka is fine, right? He's the one who does the act of Majid. Ja'a means he came. Who came? Akhuk. That's when this is a fine. And usually fine is always no. Why? Because it is in accordance to the nature of al-khamsa, it is one, and it is also mukabbara, so we brought the waw to the place of the dhamma. That's good, it fulfilled the condition, that one. Again. But when I say the last one, the one underneath, ja'a ukhayyuka, I twist and I belittle the name of akh. I make it so little. I say ukhayyuka. Do you see waw there? Ukhayyuka. No waw, right? We brought back what? The dhamma. Ukhayyu. Because this car, forget about this car is somebody else. It's not akhuka. Akhun is one entity. Ka is another personality. Akhuka means your brother. So two people here. Your brother and you. You put them. So ka here is representing the what do you call it? It's representing you. When I say akhuka, that means your brother. So that ka is representing you. And akhuka is the brother. So we're talking about what do you call it? The real format of the word is akhun. The word is akhun. So when I connect it with something, I said akhuka, for example. When I ja'a akhuka, I cannot put dhamma. I have to bring a replacement, which is the waw. But if I belittle the name, I make it musaghar. I say ja'a ukhayyuka. In this case, dhamma comes back to the ya, and waw has to be gone. I cannot put waw. So that's why I cannot say ja'a ukhayyuka. That's wrong. I cannot say, no, this is one of the af'al al-khamsa and they're supposed to be marfu'a bil waw. Then I say, instead of ukhayyuka, I said ukhayyuka. Write it down, maybe it should be more clear. Ukhayyuka. You see, I put waw. That's wrong. Arabs don't talk like that. You get it? The Arabs, they don't talk like this. They just say ukhayyuka aw akhuka. Ukhayyuka aw akhuka. Is that clear? So this is the meaning of the second condition that says an takuna mukabbara. It has to be mukabbara. Mukabbara means the full form of pronunciation without belittling the name. The opposite of takbir is tasghir. Tasghir means you are making the name small. So when I say ukhayyuka, Hamid, Humayd, I'm belittling the name. No, how do you make it little? Nuwayr, something like that. Noura, Nuwayra, something like this. Hamid, Humayd, Abd, Ubayd. Do you get it? So this is what is called what we call takbir and tasghir. So it has to be mukabbara. Mukabbara means the full form of the pronunciation of that word must be maintained. When I write it in a way it should be pronounced with tasghir, then the replacement will not take place. I have to go back to the norm. Clear? What is the question?
Is it wrong if you use ja'a akhuka? Why? I don't understand why there are two situations, ja'a ukhayyuka and ja'a akhuka.
No, ja'a akhuka. That's ja'a akhuka. I don't want to call it respect and disrespect. It is not disrespect. But when his name is Abdul Rahman, I don't call him Abdul Rahman. I play game. I told him Ubaydul Rahman. I belittled the first part of the name, which is related to him. Ya Aba Umayr, Mada Fa'al al-Nughayr. Nughayr is a bird, Nadir, but the Prophet ﷺ twisted, he make it Nughayr. The boy also that he was playing with, his name is like Abu Amr or Abu Umar, but he make it Ya Aba Umayr. Belittle the name. I mean, to show some love to the boy. You get the idea? I mean, to make fun, to make some jokes, and this is the reason why we do. Although nowadays it becomes the real name for people. His original name is Humayd. You get it? But all the Arabs, also they have this attitude nowadays, but in the old days, it is Abd, they make it Ubaydullah. It is Abdullah, they make it Ubaydullah. They belittle the name. And that shows love. So, Ja'a akhuka and Ja'a ukhayyuka, the same name. And the only thing is, that one there is a little bit lutf leniency in it. You get it? And in the first one, you just mention the full form of the pronunciation, and that's it. But there's no difference at all. You get it? You get it? Inshallah. Okay, so that's condition number 2. Condition number 1 is antakuna mufrad. That means it has to be singular, right? Not jumbo. When I say aba'u, then that's jumbo. Antakuna mukabbara. Mukabbara means it has to be pronounced properly. Full form of pronunciation without tasdeed. Takbir is the opposite of tasdeed. Antakuna mukabbara. Number 3. Antakuna mudafa. I think they're done. Very merciful. أن تكون مضافة. الأسماء الخمسة. To write the title. They said you should write الأسماء الخمسة, not أفعال الخمسة. Maybe he doesn't eat his lunch. So, أن تكون مضافة, it has to be مضافة. You see, مضافة means, can I have your attention for 1 second? إضافة means to connect 2 names, to put them all together in one place. To attribute one of the 2 names, to put them all together in one place, to attribute one of them to the other one. That's إضافة. إضافة means to put 2 names together in one place, and one of them is attributed to the other one. When I say to you, Baytun, what is Baytun? House, room. When I say Allah, who is Allah, the Creator? Right. I put Baytun and Allah all together in one place. I say what? Baytullah. Baytun Allah. I put them all together in one place and I connected them. That's why Allah became Allahi. It is not Allahu, because of the connection. But which one is attributed to the other? I'm attributing the Bayt to who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Baytullah is normal Bayt. It can be Bayt Ibrahim, Bayt Kareem, Bayt Nur, Bayt Sharifa, Bayt Sharif. But when I say Baytullah, then I'm restricting the ownership to who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They call it Idafatu Tashrif. That is the respect and honor. And the house is just normal house, but when I say Baytullahi, that means this house is owned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and it shows respect to the house. This is what is called idafa. When I say Abdu Zaydin, or Ghulamu Zaydin, is there any idafa here? Yes. I'm attributing the Ghulam to who? To Zayd. Ghulam means slave. When I say Ghulamu Zaydin, means the slave of Zayd. This is what idafa means. Back to the Asma al-Khamsa. You have some clarification about idafa, inshallah. Okay. Back to the Asma al-Khamsa. Let's see, is there idafa in them? Yes. Because the real name is Abu. Yeah, you get it, but I put Ka. This Ka is another person, it's not the Abu. And when I talk to him, I say to Hamza, Abu Ka. I'm talking about his father. But that Ka is going back to Hamza. That Ka is for Hamza. So 2 things are put together. That's the idafa. Abu Ka. Hamuka, supposed to be Hamul. Fuka is supposed to be Fu. And Dhu is supposed to be Dhu, but I say Dhu Malin. You get it? Abu, Akhu, Abuka, Akuka, Hamuka, Fuka, Dhu Malin. All of them are mudafa. We do the idafa in Aish. إلى الضمير, right? أضيفت إلى الضمير. So we attribute the Abu to who? To the Kaf. The Kaf is representing the person you're talking to. We attribute the Hamul to who? To the Kaf. Kaf representing the one that you're talking to. We attribute the Akhul to the Kaf. The Kaf, the last part of the word Akhuka, we attach it to the Kaf. We attribute it to the Kaf. The Kaf represents the second person, the one you're talking to. Likewise, Fu, likewise, Dhu. You get the idafa. So please do understand this is one of the easiest conditions, right? أن تقول فإن كانت غير مضافة فإنها لا ترفع بالواو. If there is no idafa, then we don't bring waw to become replacement. If we just have abu, which one is the sign for rafa? Dhamma. We don't bring waw, we just bring them. When we have akhun, hamun, dhu, we have what else? Fu, we just bring waw, we just bring dhamma to stay in that place without bringing the replacement. We don't need a replacement. Clear? So he says, فإن كانت غير مضافة فإنها لا ترفع بالواو ترفع بالضمة فتقول جاء أبوك. هذا صحيح. I say جاء أبوك. Why أبوك with واو? Because it is مضافة, right? ولكن لو حذفت الإضافة, if I am to take off the إضافة, which is the kaf, I remove the kaf. I say what? جاء أبو. I cannot say جاء أبو. It's wrong. جاء أبو. Then somebody asks me, why Abu? Why wow? I tell him no, because they are Asma al-Khamsa. They didn't know whether al-Khamsa don't go like this. They have to go with Idafa. They need company. So if there is no company with them, then they have to go back to the Dhamma. جاء أبو. لا يجوز أن تقول جاء أبو. You get it? قال إذن نقول جاء أبو ونرفعه بالضمة. وإذا أضيفت هل لا بد أن تكون مضافة إلى للضمير. This is very very important note for you. قال وإذا أضيفت هل لا بد أن تكون مضافة للضمير أو تعرب هذا الإعراب سواء أضيفت إلى ضمير أو ظاهر. You see, ضمير, there is ضمير and there is الأسماء الظاهرة. Dhamir is a pronoun, like the kaf, ha, ya, akhi. You get it? That's dhamir. Like the kaf, you have ya, akhuka, that's last one, is dhamir. Like fa'altu, that's ta at the end of the fi'l, it is called dhamir. So these are the pronouns. Sheikh said, Idafa can be in a dhamir. You know the idafa that I said, right? I connect something to something else. This one can be to a dhamir. And it can also be to ism zahir, not dhamir. Like idafa ila dhamir, when I say akhuka, your brother, I don't want to mention the dhamir. I want to mention the full name. I said Akhu Hamza. There is no difference between Akhuka and Akhu Hamza. It's the same thing. Because I'm talking to Hamza, I said Akhuka, your brother. When I say Akhu Hamza, the same thing. Hamza's brother. You get it? So sometimes Idafa can be to Dhamir. Dhamir means like Kaf, like Ha, like Ya, Akhuhu, Akhuha, you get it? Akhuhun, Akhuhum, you get it? These are the Dhama'ir, they call it Dhama'ir. Like here, Akhi, Fa'altu, Katabtu, Katabta, Hunna, Iyaka, these are dhama'ir. They call them dhama'ir. And the opposite of that is to have the full name. You don't go for dhamir, don't go for pronoun. You just mention the name. Ibrahim, Hamza, Karim, Karima, Sharifa. You mention the name. So idafa can be to this one and it can be also to the other one. You get it? It can be to dhamir and it can be also to the full name. Do you get it? If you look at Asma'ul Khamsa here, each and every one of them is mudafun to ish, to dhamir or to name. To dhamir, good. We get that right. Each and every one of them is connected to a dhamir, not a full name. Because I do not say Akhu Ibrahim, I said Akhu Ka. I mentioned Ka, and Ka is dhamir, Kaf is dhamir. Hamuka, Fuka, Dhu Malin. You get it? With the exception of Mal, let's say Mal is not dhamir, but Fuka, Akhuka, Abuka, they are all mudafa to dhamir. So Sheikh said, since this is what the Ruhat always mention, does that mean this condition that says it has to be mudafa, the idafa must be to dhamir? Or we can even have idafa to a full name and we still maintain the waw as a replacement? Or According to the other opinion, if it is not connected to the mir, then we have to bring dhamma. You get it, which is the original i'rab instead of replacement. So now he is asking a question. Does that mean an takuna mudafa? The idafa must be to a dhamir, or the idafa can be to a full name, and still we have the replacement. قال الثاني يعني أنها ترفع بواو سواء مضيفا إلى ضمير. He says the second, whether it is to dhamir or it is to anything, whenever you see one of these af'al khamsa, which is abun, akhun, hamun, fu, not famun, fu. When you see this fu coming, and dhuman, whenever they come, whether they are connected to dhamir or they are connected to full name, they carry the same ruling. Waw has to be the replacement. You get the idea? So when I say Ja'a Abu Zaydun, Ja'a Abu Zaydun, what should be the replacement? Abu Zaydun? Or I have to say Ja'a Abu Zaydin? Which one is correct? Abu Zaydin, yeah. So you see, but now the idafa is not to dhamir. Write it down. Ja'a Abu Zaydin. Zaydin. Tal. Okay, tal. Ja'a Abu Zaydin. Where is it? Ja'a Abu Zaydin. You see, I write Abu. I do not say Abu Zaydin. I said Abu Zaydin. What does that mean? It means the idafa also takes, although this Abu, one of the Asma al-Khamsa, is not connected to it's not connected to the mir. It's not connected to the mir, but still I maintain the replacement, which is waw to represent dhamma. You get the idea? So when he says an takuna mudafa, it means the condition, it has to be mudafa. Mudafa means connected to something else. It has to be attributed to something, whether it is dhamir or it is a full name. Okay. Whether it is dhamir or it is the full name. You get it? الشرط الرابع, the fourth condition. قال أن تكون إضافتها لغير ياء المتكلم. أن تكون إضافتها لغير ياء المتكلم. He says أن تكون مضافة, right? أن تكون إضافتها لغير ياء المتكلم. أن تكون مضافة، أن تكون إضافتها لغير ياء المتكلم. أن تكون إضافتها لغير ياء المتكلم. أن تكون إضافتها لغير ياء المتكلم. So this one is connected to the previous condition. أن تكون مضافة, it has to be مضافة, but this idafa must be idafa to other than ya al-mutakallim. Ya al-mutakallim is the ya that represents the speaker, the one who talks. When I say hada akhi, akhi, this is my brother. How do you know that this is my brother? Because of the ya, the last part of it. If I say hada akhun, it can be my brother and it can be somebody else's brother, right? هذه سيارتي. How do you know that this is my car? Because I put the ya at the end of it. So this ya is representing who? Myself, the one who is talking. That's why they call it ya al-mutakallim. Al-mutakallim is the speaker, the one who talks. Al-mutakallim is the one who speaks. So ya al-mutakallim is the ya that represents the speaker. So هذا أخي, هذا قلمي, هذا أبي. You get it? This is ya al-mutakallim. So he says, أن تكون مضافة, it has to be مضافة, but this إضافة must be to something else other than ياء المتكلم. What does that mean? If the إضافة is to ياء المتكلم, then the replacement will not take place at all. Abdurrahman, قال أخي. I think now even the slowest one in writing, they already finished this one. For example, if I say قام أخي, مثال لي أن تكون إضافتها مثال أن تكون مضافة نفس الأسماء الأصحاب كلها مضافة أن تكون إضافتها لغير ياء المتكلم. This one is connected to ياء المتكلم. When I say قام أخي, قام is what? فعل. Which فعل? ماضي. Right. فعل ماضي means he stood. أخي is my brother. And we say أسماء الخمسة, أخي is فاعل. فاعل is always مرفوع. Right. It's supposed to be رفع, right? Either we have ضمة on top of it, or we have something to replace the ضمة. But here we don't have the ضمة. And the replacement couldn't take place here. Why? Because it is مضافة not to something else other than ياء المتكلم, means it is مضافة إلى ياء المتكلم. So the ياء المتكلم, which is the last year or the last part of it, this is the thing that prevented the representation, the replacement to take place here. Again, the condition says the idafa must be to something else other than ya al-mutakallim. If we have idafa to ya al-mutakallim, these names, one of them is mudafa ila al-mutakallim, then in this case we will not have the replacement. We will have to go back to the root, or we look for something else, but the replacement cannot happen at all. So here, قام أخي. قام is fi'l. فعل ماضي. أخي is فاعل. فاعل is مرفوع. Alhamdulillah. And we are supposed to have dhamma, or we have the replacement. But here, no dhamma and no replacement also. What happened? Replacement doesn't take place because one of the conditions is missing. What is that? إضافة إلى غير ياء المتكلم, but هنا the إضافة is إلى ياء المتكلم. That's why it doesn't take place. You get it? So that's why I say قام أخي, قال أخي. I cannot have waw here. I cannot have waw here. I just have to keep it in the way it is. So, to variation. We say that it is the marfu'a بالضمة. We go back to the origin. Origin is what? Dhamma. So we have to have the dhamma here, but dhamma cannot take place here. Why? Because of the ya. You remember last time I told you sometimes we will say something is marfu' with dhamma, but the dhamma doesn't show here because it is impossible because of the nature of the last part of the word. It cannot take dhamma. You get the idea? Here, akhi, the place cannot take dhamma. So when we do the i'rab, we say this one is marfu'un with dhamma. But the dhamma doesn't take place here because of the ya al-mutakallim, that is the last part of it. It doesn't fit dhamma. That's why he says, نرفعها بضمة مقدرة على ما قبل ياء المتكلم منع من ظهور ياء اشتغال المحل بحركة المناسبة. You see, he says we say مرفوع بالضمة. We do the rafa, it is marfu with dhamma, but the dhamma doesn't appear here because of the you see here the kha, it's like that. So when I have the i'rab should be here on kha. It's clear. The i'rab is supposed to be here on kha. But now it is impossible for it to exist here on kha because the word is busy with this ya. And yeah, when you look at the harakats that we have three harakats, right? Fatha, Dhamma, Kasra, right? Which one is more appropriate to be connected with here? Kasra. Doesn't go with Dhamma. Dhamma is too heavy to be next to here. Fatha also is heavy to be next to here. But this one, this ya is under, and this one also is the same thing, Kasra, so it looks more appropriate to be connected with the ya. You get the idea? So sometimes the Arab, they will be forced to change the sign of a word because the letter doesn't go with the original sign. Just like that, then they will be forced to bring another word by force. It is not the rule they say that, but they just have to do that to make it easy. The Arabs, they like to, go with the ease. You get the idea? So here, the closest, here is supposed to be like this. But we can't, because to have this and also ya'ul mutakallim here, sakin, it doesn't go. It's too heavy. So the Arabs, they deleted this. They put kasra to go with the ya here, the last part of it. Is that clear? So that's the reason why they have this. So when they do the Arab, they say qama fi'l madi. Again, wa akhi is fa'il marfu'un بالضمة. الضمة هي مقدرة ليس ظاهرة. مقدرة means we assume the ضمة is here. مقدرة على ايش؟ على الياء؟ لا. مقدرة على ما قبل الياء. ما قبل الياء something that is before ya. It's supposed to be on kha, not on ya. Because ya is somebody else. It's not part of this word. Again. So مقدرة, we assume that the ضمة is here, but we couldn't say it because the word is busy. Busy doing what? Looking for the appropriate sign to fit the connection. So at the end of the day, the word found that kasra is better, so it just deleted the dhamma, so it put the kasra. But still when we do the i'rab, we will say marfu'an li'annahu fa'il, because it is fa'il. Fa'il is always marfu'. Fa'il means somebody who does an act. We will talk about it in the future, inshallah. Fa'il is somebody who does an act, it's always marfu'. Marfu' means having the sign dhamma. So it's supposed to be like that. Kha, la akhi, you make it akhun, but here we cannot have the dhamma because of the ya al-mutakallim. So it says in the condition, أن تكون مضافة. It has to be مضافة. مضافة means connected to something else. Like this, أخوك, so it is attributed to the ka, ضمير. And we said أن تكون إضافتها لغير المتكلم. The إضافة should be to something else other than يا المتكلم, and this يا المتكلم. If we have the إضافة إلى يا المتكلم, can we have the replacement? No. Then we have to go to the original i'rab, which is what? Dhamma. Is that clear? That's the condition. So it says also, that's condition number what? 4, right? Condition number 5, 2 more. Condition number 5. أن تكون, this condition goes with the food, not all of them. Only food. You see the food, right? This condition is only connected to food. This condition is only connected to food. أن تكون فوق خالية من الميم. أن تكون فوق خالية من الميم. أن تكون فوق أن تكون فوق خالية من الميم. خالية means should be away from me. That means something that is not connected to me. What is the meaning of food? What is food? Mouth. The common word everyone knows is what? Famun, right? If I say food, many people didn't know what is food. You get it? And this is the best actually. Famun also is okay, food is also okay. Or look at the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Actually, he mentioned the food. He says in the hadith, he says, حتى مات إنك لن تنفق نفقة تبتغي بها وجه الله إلا أجرت عليها حتى ما تجعل في فم امرأتك. He did not say في فم امرأتك. He said, or even that which you put in the mouth of your wife, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you a reward for that. Right? He did not say فم امرأتك. He said في فم امرأتك. Some people they pronounce في في امرأتك. No, it isn't like في فم امرأتك. في. The fi, the first one is harfujar, and the second one is from, is the name of the mouth. So fu, he says antakuna fu khaliyatan min al-mim. This fu, it must be fu. It must be fu that is not connected to me. If you have famun, get it? Then no replacement. You have to go back to the law. Is that clear? It has to be pronounced as fu. Fu, fi, but it has to be. Fu, fi, fa. It must be something that is not connected to the mean. You get it? أن تكون فو خالية من الميم. It has to be something that is not connected to the mean. When it is connected to mean, then we go back to the original rule. I guess it's clear, inshallah. Inshallah. أن تكون فو خالية من الميم وهذا شرط خاص بفو لأنه يوجد لغة يجعلون بدل الواو ميما. There is another language according to the Arab accent. Some of the Arabs they make it famun instead of fu. You get it? فيقال إن فتح فمك افتح famaka. You cannot say iftah famuka. That's wrong. Iftah famuka is wrong. Why is wrong? Because there is meme connected to the fa, and still I'm trying to bring the replacement. And the condition says an takuna khaliyatan min al-meme. It should be something that is not connected to the meme. When I say famuka, I cannot say famuka. When I say famuka, I'm trying to bring the replacement, which is the waw, and the condition says the fu has to be away from meme. And in this case, there is meme. You get the idea. When there is meme, I have to go back to the dhamma. Famuka. I cannot say famuka. Is that clear? That's good. The last condition. So the fifth condition happened to do with one name, right? Which is what? Fu. The last condition also is dealing with the last name, which is dhu. Dhu also, it says, أن تكون بمعنى صاحب. Go bring it. Go bring it. أن تكون بمعنى صاحب. Here أن تكون ذو. Put ذو here. أن تكون ذو بمعنى صاحب. 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 The dhu has to be the meaning of dhu for it to be a replacement for dhamma. It should be sahibin. It must be sahibin. What is sahibin? Companion, company. It should show company, companionship. That's the closest thing I can tell about sahib. Sahib means dhu it must be something that has the meaning of sahib, means companionship. Something that is attached to something. Because there is another dhu which is not having this meaning. You get the idea? So it has to be bimana sahib because there is another dhu which is bimana alladhi. Dhu bimana alladhi. Alladhi is mawsul. It is not sahib. You get it? It is not sahib. So he say this dhu that is part of al khamsa, which is replacing, which the waw is replacing dhamma in its i'rab. It must be something that has the meaning of sahib, which is companionship. When I say dhu mali, what is the meaning of dhu mali? I sahibu mali. Dhu mali. What is dhu mali? Sahibu mali. Sahibu mali means the companion of money, means somebody who has money. So the money is connected and attributed to dhu. Dhu mali means sahibu mali. This mal is attributed to who? To the person, right? Dhu mali. When I say Hamza dhu mali, Rajul dhu mali, is a man that has money. The money is attached to who? To Hamza. When I say dhu mali, that means the money is connected to him. So he said, Antakuna bimana sahib, it has to be something that shows attribution and something that shows attachment and something that shows connection to something else. This dhu. احترازا من الذو الذي بمعنى التي بمعنى الذي. That is dhu, which is used by one of the tribes of the Arab. They call them mutayyib. Dhu to mean alladhi. You get it? They use dhu to mean alladhi. Normally when you have dhu, it means sahib. But these tribe, when they talk about dhu, sometimes they use it to mean alladhi. That's why one of the poets says, فَإِنَّ الْمَاءَ مَاءُ أَبِي وَجَدِّي. Okay, you might not understand this, but inshallah, check the video and memorize the bait. فَإِنَّ الْمَاءَ مَاءُ أَبِي وَجَدِّي وَبِئِرِي ذُو حَفَرْتُ وَذُو طَوَيْتُ. He says, فَإِنَّ الْمَاءَ مَاءُ أَبِي وَجَدِّي. The water belongs to my father and my grandfather. وَبِئِرِي ذُو حَفَرْتُ. This dhu hafartu is not sahib. It doesn't mean sahib. It means وَبِئْرِ الَّذِي hafartu. And the well that I, which I, it means which I dug. وَبِئْرِ ذُو hafartu. Dhu hafartu means the one that I do. It doesn't mean sahib means dhu hafartu. I don't know even how to put it. If I am to put it, as sahib, it doesn't work. So that's why Sheikh said the last condition is dhu must be something that has the meaning of what? Sahib. And this is actually the norm. This is the usage. Whenever you talk to an Arab these days, they are talking. I've never met a person who used dhu to mean alladhi. But since this is knowledge, you might find it in your reading in the hadith or in somewhere else. Some scholars of the past, because they use all kinds of the accents of the Arabs, you might find in some of this type of usage. So you should know that sometimes if the speaker is from Tayyib, usually when they use dhu, sometimes they use it as alladhi, not sahib. But the vast majority of the Arab, when they use dhu, they mean what? Sahib. Dhu mali, dhu kibari, dhu karami, dhu jahil. Like this. They use it as sahib. Sahib karami, sahib jahil, sahib mali, and on and on. So these are the six conditions mentioned by the scholars to be the conditions of al-khamsa, where waw is supposed to represent what? Dhamma. Waw is supposed to represent dhamma. We have how many conditions? Six conditions. 4 conditions, they are mushtaraka. Mushtaraka means everyone share. They are mushtaraka means they all share those conditions. 4 of them is shared by all of them. Well, 2 conditions, they are what? ليست مشتركة خاصة بإيش؟ خاصة ببعضها. We have 1 condition خاص بذو and 1 condition خاص بفو. So you have 2 conditions, they are خاصة. 1 condition خاص بذو and the other condition خاص بفو. You get the idea? So 6 conditions, 4 of them they mushtaraka they share all of them, and 2 of them, they are khasun bi, bidhu, and fu. So I'll just summarize and then we close the class inshallah. It is going to be like this. Just little one subject, inshallah, until we become not mu'allafat qulubuhum. You know mu'allafat qulubuhum? You know mu'allafat qulubuhum? Not mu'allafat qulubuhum, the general meaning. I'm just using the language. Mu'allafat qulubuhum is somebody that you're trying to soften his heart to accept something, to go with it forever, inshallah. When you like Nahu, you love it so much, then we will start taking 10 lessons at once, inshallah. But now, little by little. I don't want to miss everyone, right? So that's it. So we have alamat al-rafa. We have how many alamat for rafa? 4, right? We have dhamma, we have al-nawa'ib, thalatha, right? Al-waw, al-nun, wal-alif, right? So we started with the waw. We said waw represent, we talk about the dhamma, right? The places where dhamma can exist. The places where dhamma can exist, there are how many? 6 minus 2, right? Okay, 4. Number 1 is al-ism al-mufrad, right? Number 2 is jam'u taksir. Number 3, jam'u al-muannath as-salim. Number 4, al-fi'l al-mudari' alladhi lam yattasil bi akhirih shay'un. The fi'l al-mudari' that is not attached to anything. And we have the replacement. The first one is waw. Waw replaces dhamma in how many places? 2 places, right? The first one is jam'u ish? Al-Mudakkar As-Salim. The second one is Al-Asma' al-Khamsa. Al-Asma' al-Khamsa, what are they? Without looking at your note or looking at the board, can we just say them? Abun, Abuka, Akhuka, Hamuka, Fuka, and Dhumalin. They're very easy, right? Abun, Akhun, Hamun, and what? Fu, and Dhumal. And we said there is one additional word to be name to be 6 added by the people of Basra, right? Which is Hanu, right? This one, inshallah, in the future we will talk about that. And these Asma'ul Khamsa, for waw to be a replacement of dhamma in each and every one of them, we have to fulfill how many conditions? 6. 3 of them are mushtaraka and 3 of them are khasa, right? Okay, 4 of them are mushtaraka and 2 of them are khasa. We have antakuna mufrada, that means it should be singular. And the second one is antakuna mudafa, that means it should be attributed to something else. And the third one is antakuna idafatuha ila ghayri ya al-mutakallim. The idafa should be to something else, not ya al-mutakallim. And we have another condition, antakuna mukabbara. Mukabbara means not musaghara. Mukabbara like Umar, Umayr, this is Musaghar. So that like Akhun, Ukhayyun, Ubayyun, you get it. Ubayyun, that's the tasgir of Abu. Antakuna Mukabbara. So it shouldn't be Musaghara. If it is Musaghara, we have to go back to the origin. And the next condition is Antakuna Fu, Muttasila bimim, right? Bimim. Okay, Khalid and Mim. It should be something that is not connected with Mim at the last part of it, right? When we have Mim at the last part of it, then this replacement will not take place. And the last condition is Antakuna Dhu bimana Sahib. Dhu should be bimana Sahib. Sahib means companion, attachment, attribution, somebody who is next to someone. Allahu Alam. So that's all for today, inshallah. If you have a question, ask. If not, then we close the session. Hamu is the brother of the husband's brother. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, إِيَّاكُمْ وَالدُّخُولَ عَلَى النِّسَاءِ, I warn you from entering a place where there is nobody except a woman. Meaning this khalwa. The person is in a place where he is alone. So both are addressed in this hadith. Sister going to a place where there is nobody except a man, they are alone in that place, or he goes to a place where there is nobody except a woman. So in this case, the Prophet ﷺ said, I warn you from doing this. He said, Ya Rasulullah, ara'ayta al-hamu. What do you think about hamu? Hamu is the akhu zawj, husband, brother, according to some interpretation of some scholars. So they say, ara'ayta al-hamu. What do you think of hamu? Prophet ﷺ said, Alhamdu al-Maut. Alhamdu is death. It means death is better than him. Because this is a cultural practice of almost every people. Wherever you go, your brother can just come to the house and sit with your wife and they talk. And issues are taking place only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. So when they say, Ya Rasulullah, what about the cultural practice whereby the brother would just come, even the husband is not allowed, but he would just sit with the wife, they talk. The Prophet ﷺ said, what are you talking about? This one, death is even better than this. And even to have a case of death is better than having a case situation whereby the husband's brother comes to the house and sits with the wife and the wife of his brother. Which means haram for him to do that. The husband is haram for him to allow it, and the wife also haram for her to accept it. It has to, because the husband's brother is not mahram in any situation. There is no difference between him and the normal person in the street. They are all equal. And the way she should protect and preserve her honor and protect herself against the normal person in the street, the same thing also with him. Because if the brother dies, can the other brother marry? Yes. Straightforward, he can marry if he wishes. There is no restriction, Islamic restriction upon that. So that's ham. May Allah preserve the Muslim community. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? So if you don't have a question, please keep the class alive. Allah reward you. Ask Allah SWT to give you Jannah for saving our class for these 2 days. Allah reward you. Allah grant you Firdaus. Allah show you the day. When you go back to Him, He will tell you, yeah, this is because you make the class alive. Inshallah. You get that much reward, inshallah. So keep on being patient, please. Let us reach the conclusion and see the goal we are targeting to reach, inshallah. The idea is to have scholars and real scholars in the future, and inshallah you will reach that position, but it needs from you patience. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you that. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka.
واحد وليذكر